Welcome back to Common Ground Podcast, where we talk about anything and everything. My name is Amy Bacon, and I'm your host,
My name is Cole, and I'm a guest.
and he's my guest. And today we are talking about work-life balance and kind of getting into finding routine and not overworking yourself when it's really easy to do so. And I picked Cole because we're both kind of overachievers to talk about this. And we've spent the last year working on really intense group projects. So I know how Cole works and Cole knows how I work. We're going to chat about not crashing out, not burning out, even though I would argue we did. I did.
Almost a couple times.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I think because I'm kind of an overachiever, there are times where I do let go of my well-being a little bit. Mostly, physical, sleep or, not working out because
Right.
I'm so busy.
Me too.
But in terms of, stress levels, I try not to let myself stress too much. I feel like you stress sometimes.
I think that I stress out more than Cole, so I know. Let me rephrase. I know that I stress out more than Cole. Probably I stressed Cole out in the last year is my guess, because I tend to overthink everything to the most minor of details, and I think that's part of my being kind of an overachiever, because I like everything to be perfect, and I find it difficult to let things be not the exact way that I envisioned. And that's something that I struggle with, and it manifests in my work and most things that occur in my life. But I feel like being okay with just sort of doing your best and physically and mentally knowing that you've done your best has helped me to kind of take a step back and be okay with just letting things be the way they are and not being the exact to the detail what I envisioned them to be originally, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I actually feel like work-life balance in large part comes from the people you surround yourself with. So I feel like Amy
Totally
and
agree.
I, the way we work is almost opposite in a sense, but
Right.
we both will get down and work hard and grind out the project. But for me, I don't overthink, so having her overthinking all the time was kind of complimenting me not overthinking, where I hold myself to a high standard, so I'm always going to try and work very hard on no matter what I'm doing. So that's where we complemented each other, is she had that high standard as well, so we'd work towards that. But because I'm not overthinking, I'm have lower stress levels, so I'm
Yeah, it's
almost
my zen.
helping her calm down a bit, and then she's stressed out where maybe I should be a little more stressed out in certain things.
I think that there's a fine balance of finding people who you can bounce off of, because had there been two me's, had I had to work with myself, I could nothing would get done, because we would sit there and we would read everything 10,000 times and we would just never submit anything, versus being able to work with somebody like Cole, who's okay, maybe it's not the best it could be, but we did our best.
Mm-hmm.
And we tried and we put effort into this and we gave it our all, so we're going to submit it anyways. That's kind of the dynamic that I think you need for success, not only in school projects but in life. And we're kind of at a transitional period, because we're both leaving school and we're both working big girl jobs. You're working a big girl job too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of interesting to see how our work ethic manifests in our actual 9 to 5 life. And I think it's been interesting so far. I know Cole's really busy all the time with projects and everything.
I did kind of ask for it.
He did ask for it. There you are, being an overachiever.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting to just sort of have a new playground to
Mm-hmm.
experiment on and get used to finding a new way of balancing life, because we're not just going to school, going home, studying, crashing out, doing work, studying. This routine that we've had for so long is about to change. And I think that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, is having a routine that you understood and knew so well for so long. We've done school, at least I have done school every single day, every year, basically for the last 22, almost 23 years of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've really only had like 8 months off, which I worked full time, and then everything else, apart from breaks, is in school routine. So to be transitioning from that and taking everything we knew about our work ethic and our routine in life and moving into like this new chapter, if you will, it's weird and it feels weird.
So I have a different story than hers. I went out of high school, I went straight to school and then dropped out because I did not enjoy it. And then I went into like the work industry. I worked as a server for a bit, and like that taught me different like work life balance. Where like I'm gonna work super hard for like 8 hours, make some money, and then go and party. Wasn't sustainable. So I ended up going into like real estate, and that was a complete opposite shift where I'm working for like 8 hours still, but it's like relatively easy. I'm like sitting in a home, like showing houses, and I had to like almost turn on more work or else I would just become lazy and just like sit in an open house all day and do nothing. So I was finding more work for me to do. Didn't enjoy it. So I ended up finding something new. I started a marketing agency, and that was like the opposite of that, where I'm like working 12-hour days because we're not making any money. So I got to figure out how to make money and not having any time to myself. And I think that equipped me for going into school, because at school, having the mindset of like just go, 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 go was good. But then come second semester of first year, I'm like burnt out. I like just don't care anymore. I'm still like doing okay, and like my standards are still high, but I didn't care. And like I think my work reflected in that. And especially this year, because we're almost done. I'm like, this semester, like any coursework, I'm like, how do I just complete it pretty much? And that is now coming into a shift where I'm like at work and I'm like, no, I care a lot. I want to do the best I possibly can, but I'm still getting off at 5 and I get to go enjoy my life. So I'm trying to learn, like, even though I've had so many different shifts of work life balance, right now I'm like really trying to learn how do I enjoy my life, make the fullest of it, but still work hard and like have myself progress within work and eventually like starting my own business.
Period. You said some good things in there, like burnout and how do I just complete it, which resonated deeply. We have been in the most intense program ever.
Mm-hmm.
It took over our lives. There's just like no doubt. Like there's no way of saying it otherwise. It took over our lives. We had no other life. Somewhere in the process, definitely more towards the end, it's been feeling more like doing work to get it done
Mm-hmm.
rather than doing work to learn. And I think that is just like that's pretty much the definition of burnout. Like you're exhausted and you feel like you can't do anymore. And it's why it's so important to like while you're being an overachiever and doing things and like I don't want to keep saying overachiever because I also think that trying hard and doing your absolute best is necessary and should be encouraged. But why it's so important to find some way of balancing out everything that you're doing in your life and finding solace in mundane things like going to bed early or taking time to do things that you enjoy, like reading or working out or
Chores.
chores
I leave
like
chores like while I was in school. I like left chores to like
i've
the last minute
I've
all the
missed
time.
doing chores.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's strange or not, but like being able to like clean my room and enjoy like feeling like my space is mine again, it's just gotten away from me so many times, and that just has to do with putting school first and putting
Mm-hmm.
me last. I think we're kind of in a bit of limbo because we don't
Mm-hmm.
really know what things are going to look like in 4 months. We have never like I think this is pretty much the end of school for both of us,
Mm-hmm.
for at least for right now.
I might
Maybe
go back
Cole
to law school one day.
Cole says he might go back to law school one day. I'll believe it when I see it. I need to get my bachelor's at some point. It's just that I think I want to not do that right now because of what I just said. Like, I don't think that I could trust myself to go to school and not do work just to complete it. And that's not why I ever want to be in school. Doing work to complete work isn't going to benefit me. And I know that.
I like looking at the different things you're pursuing as like different arenas in life. So like for me, like longest time was school, and that was like my main arena. Now like moving into work, it's like because I'm gonna have more free time on my hands, I'm looking at like what can my main arena will be work, and then a second arena would be like doing something freelance and starting to build a business. So for
Mm,
me, like now that the school arena is pretty much over, I'm looking for a new arena, and that is where like the overachiever comes. But I'm also like learning how to balance. So Like, what does balance look like for you?
I don't really know because I don't feel like I've had any balance. It's been a really trying time to be, like, I think who I actually want to be. I feel like I'm not the person that I want to be yet.
Mm-hmm.
And the person that I want to be hasn't had time to exist in the last 2 years. And I don't regret anything about that because I needed to be this version of myself. I needed to be locked in and sitting at my desk doing work 12 hours every single day to get to where I am now and to like be the person that I am now. But along there, I did lose balance and I did lose track of all of the things that I want to do in my life, like being creative. I feel like I haven't been creative in
Mm-hmm.
years
Yeah, she
because
sings.
you wouldn't know though, because I haven't been in a long time or like creating content or literally just anything.
So do you
And
feel like not having balance made you lose yourself a little bit, or do you still have a good hold on who you are
um,
and it's just the balance that was
I
lost?
think there's a balance between both.
Mm.
I think losing balance made me lose myself. And I definitely think it played a big part in why I feel like I have steps to take forward to getting back to where I was and rediscovering a new person that I am now because I'm not the same person that I was. You're not the same person that you were when you came to school. You obviously leave as a completely different person. I don't really know what I like to do for fun anymore. Like, it's hard to
Actually,
say.
me too. I have like no idea. My girlfriend asked me the other day. She's like, "So like, what are your hobbies?" And I'm like, "I don't
It's
know.
hard
I literally have no idea. It was
because
school."
for the past 2 years, like, people ask me what I'm doing after school, and I tell them I'm doing more school.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's been really hard for the people in my life because I'm like, you don't understand. Like, I have to do this. Like, this needs to be me right now. I have to say no. And like, it was hard. But again, like, I don't think I regret it. I don't think you regret it either.
I
Because,
almost felt empowered saying no, being like, "No, I have school. I can't go out," and
yeah,
like that empowered me to the point now where I feel empowered saying yes to things.
exactly. That's a great way of looking at it. And it's not like we were restricting ourselves from fun because I think we had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because we're also close as like a community at the school we are at. But now that we're done, we do have to take time and effort to shift into being people who do things for fun that don't
Yeah.
revolve around school and don't revolve around work projects, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
for you.
I feel like that's where like balance also comes, is like now we're making active effort to like spend time with each other, and like before it's like, oh, we're gonna see each other at school every day, so we're not really doing much on the weekends or anything, and now we're like, what are you doing Friday, what are you doing Saturday, and like planning things and like making it, like making conscious effort to spend time with each other. So it almost feels like we're becoming more friends now that we're seeing each other less.
I would have to agree. And I think that's one of the most strange things about leaving school. And it kind of shows you who your friends are because you didn't have to make effort to see people for however many
Mm-hmm.
years. And now you do. It doesn't come to you on a Monday morning at 8:30. It doesn't happen at break. It doesn't happen when you're forced to do projects together. It happens because you make an effort to do it. And that's definitely a change. Kind of sad to lose the dynamic of school relationships, fun vibes, seeing each other all the time, the effortlessness of
Mm-hmm.
it. On that note, just a segue, I feel like I felt more connected with all of my friends that I'm leaving school with in the last month since we've seen each other less because
Mm-hmm.
every time we see each other, it's because we actually want to see each other, not because we have to see each other.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we've made such an effort to do it. I'm sure it'll become more sparse as like we actually leave school and like it gets harder. But like, people actually care, and that's evident, and it's nice to know. And it makes it feel more real. Not that it wasn't real before, but big girl real.
Big girl real.
Big girl real. How long have we been
I don't
talking?
know. 16 minutes.
16
Yeah.
minutes? Let's
That
wrap
one
it
felt
up.
like way better.
I don't really know how to summarize this because we sort of went on a segue of everything, which is the exact point of common ground. I'm glad we got to chat. Kind of went all over the place. A little bit of friendship, a little bit of balance, a little bit of transitioning out of school life. Now just figure out the rest, I guess.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for chatting. Go watch Cole's episode where we chatted on this bench about friendships and different types of friends.
Yeah.
So if you want to actually figure out what we talked about, you're going to have to watch the episode. Thank you for watching. Comment down below thoughts, feelings, questions, concerns. I'll see you soon.
Subscribe.
Look at us.
That's fun.
That's so
I
fun.
actually enjoyed that.